from this to this in about an hour. Hey everybody, thanks for dropping by. So today we're dealing with another case of a destroyed gear stick knob, this time on a 2006 Peugeot 307. And this one is more severe since the whole head has snapped off from the neck. Go figure. However, this white plastic sleeve around the metal bar gave me an idea, and as we can see, a 15mm copper pipe fits nicely around that plastic sleeve. So after removing the broken plastic in the head, I measured the opening of the head and found it to be around 24-25mm. Let's see what we can do. This time I decided to use some leftover pieces of copper pipe and the cooling system hose. A sip of coffee clears the head, and let's get on with it. So I got a small length of copper pipe around 3.5 centimeters long and fit that into the rubber hose. See, here's the interesting part. The rubber hose has an inner diameter of 15mm and an outer diameter of around 25mm. So the 15mm copper pipe fits quite nicely and snugly into the rubber hose, and this helps us create a new neck for our knob, which is actually quite similar to the old one. See how snugly it fits? As a first step, we have our pieces put together, and since our new neck has an inner metal core, we can now secure the head on the new neck with something metal, like a small metal rod or a screw. I chose the metal rod. These two grooves to the side of the head are very convenient since they are diametrically opposed. This helps us drill holes in both sides, which we can utilize as we wish. The peeled out plastic of the head also helps a lot. This broke apart quite a few years ago. The head itself is soft metal, so it can be drilled easily, and if we measure correctly, we can drill equally from each side. However, I've decided to do it the hard way and drill one single hole from one side to the other. Well, I was lucky enough for that, as the hole on the other side is only about 0.5 mm off center. Not bad for a handheld drill. So after drilling a 2mm hole on both sides, I had a piece of 2mm brass rod lying around, which fits nicely into the holes, and it gave me this result. And then easily I bend the sides into the grooves, make them flush with the knob, and here's the end result. Not bad. Let's try to install it. So here's why I chose such a small length of copper pipe. See, this plastic sleeve has these two protrusions to the sides which don't allow the copper pipe to go any lower. But the rubber hose is flexible enough to hug them and go all the way down. This rubber hose is actually short. I could have used a little longer one so that it covers all of the plastic sleeve all the way down, but this setup is also effective, so no worries. As we can see, the new part fits exactly as planned. It hugs these lower protrusions, and the copper pipe fits nicely all the way down until those two protrusions, and it fits quite snugly too. And after that, my favorite part, the heat shrink tube. I used 50mm heat shrink tube, which fits quite nicely around the head, and it hugs it so nice it gives an excellent result. A point to note here, the torch is not the only solution. The heat gun is a better one, and I really recommend it. The top may need some cutting to remove the excess material, and maybe even a couple of small cuts to accommodate the two ears of the top cap. Heat it up nicely and evenly so that it's very soft, and then immediately place the top cap and you're done. The heated tube will hug the sides of the top cap and it will keep it there almost like the factory part. Now, I discovered that the rubber hose, as I said, wasn't as long as I'd like it, but even so, it stays there with no problem. If I were to cut a longer piece, it would fit all the way down, even lower than the plastic sleeve, and this would allow me to secure it with a metal clamp under the sleeve, which would be much safer. No worries though, as this one works quite well, and if we ever want to, we can easily remove it and replace the rubber hose with a longer one. And that's it. Quick, easy, reliable. What else can we ask for, right? Now, there is a relatively cheap replacement on the internet, and we did get that, but this fix is so good, we're tempted to leave it as it is. The plastic of that heat shrink tube is so hard and durable that it really gives an excellent result. It really looks nice, and it can also be used in knobs that are not damaged, purely as a simple cover. Excellent! So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. You are the best!